Pakistan's butchery in Pahalgam has destroyed 28 families, but the pain is being felt by an entire country. And one of those families is Rao family from Karnataka. Manjunath was killed by terrorists right in front of his wife and son, but not before Pakistani butchers revealed their true intentions. Terrorists lined up for Manjunath's Thousands have lined up for Manjunath's final journey in Shivamoga, which was followed by a gun salute. Last tributes being paid to Manjunath. My colleague Neha is now joining us. Neha, tell us the situation on ground.
Well, of course, a pall of gloom here has descended on the whole of the district as, Manjunath Rao wasn't just a very loved member of the family, but in fact, he was quite popular in the entire district. People cutting across, in fact, all religions, all creed, all castes have come down today to pay their last respects here to Manjunath Rao. Of course, the family here is shattered to say the least. We spoke, of course, with, in fact, the mother as well earlier. We've spoken with the wife as well, and all they have to say is that they didn't get to say their final goodbyes. Of course, you'll be able to see here the son as well of Manjunath Rao. In fact, he'd barely just finished his college right now. They'd gone out on this trip to Kashmir. This was their first trip, in fact, their first big trip, merely because, he had secured excellent marks in his examination. And it's most unfortunate that, as the three of them set out on this trip, it's only two that have come back now. You'd be able to see, of course, the manner in which the family over here weeping, uncontrollable, they're devastated. All they have to say at this point is that they want the security to be increased. They've, of course, narrated their ordeals. They've recounted those horrific moments during that dastardly attack. And even as they're finally getting to, of course, bid their goodbyes, it has been an extremely, extremely teary one for them. We'll, of course, continue to stay on this, but probably not the best time. Of course, it is time to give the family as well some privacy, given that, it's been a very painful journey for them all the way from Pahalgam, coming down till Shivamoga as well. And it's just been an absolutely heartbreaking journey for them. We've spoken with the wife as well earlier. She was just near the verge of breaking down, really, still in a state of shock.
Right, this family had left for Jammu and Kashmir on the 19th of April. It was supposed to be a celebratory trip because their son Abhijan had scored excellent marks in his class 12 exams, and today he is paying his last tributes to his father. Neha, not just one family, but an entire state, an entire country grieving with them.
Well, that's absolutely right. Of course, it's like you rightly mentioned, it's not just the families here, but, several people from across the country today, of course, condemning this attack, pouring in their heartfelt condolences to the family. And even as the family, of course, now trying to bid their final goodbye, this isn't something that they had expected. This isn't something they had ever anticipated. We, of course, spoke with several family members. In fact, the mother of Manjunath also earlier had expressed her apprehension about them even stepping out to Kashmir for the trip. In fact, you'd be able to see extremely teary-eyed here, the mother and the son, of course, really breaking down here, heartbreaking visuals as we stand here and bring you these reports. This has of course been the state of families across the country, many of whom have lost their loved ones. Many others also, of course, who've come out today to support the family in this distressing time. The son still in a state of shock, of course, you'd be able to see, given that he lost his father in front of his eyes. Really, really, of course, extremely heartbreaking visuals here. The entire district, of course, today paid their respects to Manjunath. Mortal remains were, in fact, of course, taken around the entire district. People had come out in large numbers. Even here at the crematorium, you'd be able to see it's not just the family members, of course, but, many really who've come out to pay their support. In fact, several traders, vendors, the entire district of Shivamogga itself is on a partial shutdown today. They've voluntarily called for a bunch today to pay their respects to Manjunath Rao. And even as, of course, these final moments here with the family, it's really painful, of course, to say the least at this point, given that, they witnessed it firsthand. It's not something that any family should ever have to see. Is the last thing that the wife, of course, mentioned. She said she hopes and prays that no family, in fact, ever has to witness what they have to witness ever again. And, of course, even as we allow for those last rites there to continue and allow the families some time, we're only hopeful, and this is, of course, the words that the family members have said. They're only hopeful that, befitting reply is given to the perpetrators of this dastardly attack.
Right. This was the family that was in Jammu and Kashmir. They were trying to enjoy a much-deserved vacation. There were also videos that they put out on social media where they are praising a shikara ride. Little did they know that just hours later, their lives were going to change irrevocably forever. Listen in to Manjunath's wife, Pallavi, as she narrates what happened to them that fateful day.
Actually, it's like a nightmare. Even I can't believe that my husband is not there with me. Even still, I believe that it should be a bad dream. I should wake up from that dream. It shouldn't happen to any of the family. Actually, they were seeing who are by looking at our attire. They were distinguishing whether we are Hindus or Muslims, and exactly they were targeting by our bangles, our bindi, and with all those things they were distinguishing and they were targeting, and they were especially targeting only men, so that we ladies and our children should suffer.
Our thoughts and prayers with all the families of the victims. It has been 48 hours since the devastating attack by Pak proxies claimed lives of those innocent people. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today sent out a stern message to global community from the soil of Bihar. He said India is going to identify, trace and punish every terrorist, and not just the terrorists but their backers as well will not be spared. He emphasized that India's resolve will remain unshaken. He said that India's spirit can never be broken by terrorism. In a clear, unequivocal message to Pakistan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi vowed an unforgiving response, declaring those involved in terror will be punished beyond their imagination.
अब आतंकियों की बची खुची जमीन को भी मिट्टी में मिलाने का समय आ गया है और इस हमले की साजिश रचने वालों को उनकी कल्पना से भी बड़ी सजा मिलेगी। सजा मिलकर के रहेगी। 140 करोड़ भारतीयों की इच्छा शक्ति अब आतंकी आकाओं की कमर तोड़ कर रहेगी। I say to the whole world, India will identify, track and punish every terrorist and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth. India's spirit will never be broken by terrorism.
Now, while the entire nation is grieving, there are some people in the political sphere that still have their opinions to express opinions that can leave everybody shocked. As more details about the attack come to light, conflicting narratives have emerged regarding whether the violence was aimed at a particular community and who is ultimately responsible for this tragedy. But every single victim and their families that have spoken out have said that they were identified, profiled. It was established that they were non-Muslims. It was established that they were Hindus. There is also a testimony from a Christian family that we have that they were asked to recite Kalma, and when they failed, they were killed, shot dead in cold blood. However, none of those families' testimonies seem to be enough for former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. He says that the assault was specifically targeted at Hindus is a fact that has not been established.
इसके बारे में अभी पक्की खबर नहीं है, अलग-अलग खबरें आ रही है। ऐसा जो काफी जो 2-3 वीडियो जो आए, उन्होंने ये बताया कि गोली दागने के पहले ऐसा किसने पूछा नहीं था कि आप हिंदू हो या मुस्लिम हो। ऐसे भी कुछ बातें सामने आई है। अभी धीरे-धीरे पूरी जब छानबीन होगी तब ये बातें सच्ची बात क्या है वो सब सामने आएंगी.
All right, and after that shocking statement, Times now confronted former Maharashtra Home Minister, trying to find out what exactly was the intent behind making those observations. Listen into what happened.
Sir, but we have also spoken to many of the eyewitnesses, people who were present, family members of the victims. They have confirmed that religion was asked to them and only Hindus were targeted. Is there any particular reason why you are making this kind of a rhetorical statement?
On the basis of that videos, I had only urged that the proper inquiry, investigation is going on, and the जो भी proof है वो सामने आएगा.
But sir, is it been done to basically appease a particular community by your party?
No. I mentioned the video of Pooja More.
Okay.
Which is released from Srinagar.
Okay.
She was also there with the family.
Okay.
And she mentioned that. So I quoted that Pooja More quoted so the proper investigation will be done and the जो भी सच्ची बात हो सामने आएंगी.
He is, however, not alone. This is, however, not the first time that somebody from the opposition has tried to underplay the fact that Pahalgam attack was clearly directed at Hindus. Here are some more examples.
वीडियो जो आए उन्होंने ये बताया कि गोली दागने के पहले ऐसा किसने पूछा नहीं था कि आप हिंदू हो या मुस्लिम हो. ऐसे भी कुछ बातें सामने आई है. अभी धीरे-धीरे पूरी जब छानबीन होगी तब ये बातें सच्ची बात क्या है वो सब सामने आएंगी.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी मामला को डाइवर्ट कर रही है. अब जिसने मारा उसका कोई जात नहीं, तो किसी पार्टी का किसी धर्म का नहीं है. मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूं, देश के प्रधानमंत्री को जिम्मेवारी लेनी चाहिए.
देश के अंदर जो लोग बैठे सत्ता में ना, वो जानबूझ करके मुसलमानों को इनाम लेते हैं हर चीज. अगर आप कह रहे हैं कि लोगों का नाम पूछ करके धर्म पूछ के मारा गया है, तो उनके पास इतना टाइम था कि एक लोगों को मार रहे धर्म पूछ रहे हैं, तो हमारी पुलिस कहां थी, हमारी सिक्योरिटी कहां थी. लेकिन एक सही कदम उठाइए, इसको धर्म के नाम पे मत लाइए.
Now, let's show these politicians the facts, the testimonies, the pain, the trauma, the details that they choose to turn a blind eye to. Listen into this.
यहाँ पे मेरे बच्चे को अरे हम लोग फौजी हैं, आपकी सेफ्टी के लिए आए हो.
तर त्यांच्यावर दहशतवादी हल्ला झाला. त्यांना विचारण्यात आले तुम्ही हिंदू आहे का, तर त्याही त्यांना अजाम बोलायला लावले. त्यांना ते आले नाही आणि ते मग काही धडधड गोळ्या चालू केल्या. अतिरेकी गोळ्या झाडल्या निघून गेले.
उन्होंने हिंदू कौन है ऐसे पूछा सामने से, और संजय लेले जी को सर पे गोली मार दी, और उसके बाद मेरे जीजा जी को भी उन्होंने पेट पे गोली मार दी.
इसको लॉस फील नहीं करेगा. मेरा भाई एक देश के लिए एक सेक्रीफाइस किए. बदला तो श्योर लेना है अभी।
Time for us to take a very quick break, but those testimonies, those victims' testimonies are being denied by politicians. Is it now going to be a country where people are being shamed even from narrating their trauma, where they are going to be told that what you're saying is not lies because it is unproven? And all this to give a clean chit to Pakistan and its proxies? Times now will keep tracking those details. We take a very quick breather.